guys, Bob Eccles here from PinePoint Realty. It's Sunday morning.
And I'm Zach Blair. I'm Zach Blair. I'm here. It's Sunday morning, guys. I am not quite awake. Oh my gosh.
You know, it takes a couple cups of coffee in the morning to go ahead and get going, as you guys probably know. And Zach, I don't think you've had your first one yet, have you?
No, I'm halfway through my first aroma.
Yeah. So he's got one of those fruity, foofy energy drinks.
Hey,
you know that.
If you get a chance, try the drink of the day out on Main Street in Lewiston. It's kind of fruity. It's coconut and pineapple. It's really good.
Coconut and pineapple. So kind of tropical.
Yeah,
tropical type thing.
Tropical for sure.
Right. So on a nice cool day, get something nice and tropical feeling. Give you that hula feeling.
Just get your Aroma Joes.
Yeah,
it's
there
all
you go.
Good. Just get your Aroma Joes. It's good in the morning.
I love Aroma Joes.
But we got some great stuff coming for you guys today. We got Dan Murphy from Harborview Lending. And we're also going to do our first drawing of the PinePoint Prize Club.
All right.
$100. Who is it going to be? Woo! It's going to be fun.
Now, we haven't talked much about it, though.
Talk about what?
The Prize Club.
Well, can't talk about the Prize Club. What are you talking about?
That's why we haven't been talking about it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's just like Fight Club. Remember, the first rule of Fight Club is can't talk about Fight Club.
Okay.
But we're going to start off with a topic that's really fascinating. So one of the common questions we get all the time is the property livable? Do you know if the property's livable?
You know, I've been in a couple where I've been a little questionable as far as whether they are livable.
No. I'm not talking about the ones where it looks like you're walking into Macy's and everything's set up perfectly and it's just like a store.
Well, yeah, I've been in a couple of those postcard ones, too.
Yeah, I'm talking about the barn one.
The barn one.
So okay. I gotta tell you about this, guys. So I used to.
You got a story, I guess, right?
No, I got a story.
That's what I say. You got a story.
No, I got a story.
You got a story.
No, I got a story.
He's got a story.
I got a story. So anyways, I used to do foreclosure lockups. I used to work for this company where I'd go change locks and do all kinds of stuff, little odd jobs, traveling around New England. And there was this house in Berlin. I did a cash for keys. Literally showed up the property. There was literally shit all over the, excuse my language, stuff all over the front lawn. There was an RV parked in the driveway, and they had
a guy down the street.
Maybe, but this is much worse.
Oh, okay.
There was literally animals everywhere: chickens, goats, dogs, cats, anything you could imagine. I think they had goats. Did I say goats?
Yeah, you
did.
They
had goats. Anyways,
did they have goats?
No, they had chickens and goats. But anyways, so
it's Sunday morning, guys.
So I walk in, and quite literally, I'm like, okay, hey guys, you got to be out. I got to lock this property up. You can't be in when I'm in there. If you can give me your keys, I got you a check. Literally, they said, give me 10 minutes, and they start hauling stuff out, and there's a sign in the front yard, free dog. I'm like, seriously?
Free dog.
Free dog. They're trying to get rid of the dog. I don't know. I felt awful.
Yeah.
So anyways, I ended up going to the store because there were no doors on the house. I had to get T111, put it up.
Yeah.
Block all the doors, put a lock on the only door there was there. Anyways, I go in the house and literally up to my knees. It's like nobody had a trash can. They literally were just throwing everything everywhere. They were literally up to my knees in trash.
Oh, and this was considered livable.
Yes. Well, to them.
Who to them? Right. Okay.
But to them. Woo. But the worst part of it was that I was going through, there was like millions of DVDs and Disney DVDs. I'm like, back then, remember, this was probably 10, 15 years ago. Maybe almost 20. Probably about 15.
Is that how date yourself, dude?
Shh. Don't tell them that, Bob. I'm only 18.
Well, anyway, time,
yeah, maybe.
All right.
Anyway, so going back, there was like all this good stuff everywhere, but the worst part of the house, the kitchen. There's nothing like a kitchen that has rotting food and rotting dish. Oh my God, it's just gross. It smells gross. It's slimy. And you know what the worst part of the whole thing is? The company had me bid to clean it out, and I cleaned it out.
Oh, man.
It was nasty. No, it was gross.
So I got a quick question, though.
Sure.
Okay, so what's that got to do with livable?
So the thing is, calling a realtor and asking if a house is livable is a very wide, broad question that sometimes isn't answerable.
Because we've seen a few.
Because your standards of living and my standards of living and Bob's standards of living, you don't want to see where he... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Where he lives, it just doesn't work. It does not work. Sometimes
It works for me.
you know, you could be... I've been in houses where literally it's stacked boxes to the wall and you literally have 100 square foot of living space because the other 900 are taken up by just stuff.
I've got a next door neighbor like that.
Yeah. So the point is here about the whole question. The question, is a house livable, is such a broad question. You're probably the answer we're probably gonna give you is...
To somebody, yes.
To somebody is, yes, it is, or no, it's not livable, because 99% of the time we're going to go based on systems. Is the house up and running? Is the water running? Is the heat working? Is the cooling, well, we don't care about cooling, it's cold in here.
But not the heating systems.
Right, right.
The water, the sewer,
your basic systems are up. Because at the end of the day, a refrigerator box could be livable. Mm-hmm. So it all depends. So next time you ask that question, think about it. What's livable to you and what's livable to the guy next to you? You never know.
You never know.
Well,
that's kind of an interesting thought on a Sunday morning. That was a pretty deep dive, dude.
it was fascinating. I'll never forget about that story. Never, ever.
I'm guaranteeing you didn't actually deep dive into it, though, did you?
Oh, you don't want to know, because you want to go worse into it. That house, literally walking around, you had to be very careful because they didn't bring the animals out to go. Mm. The floor was literally filled with urine and feces. Yeah. It was slippery everywhere. It was horrible.
Yeah. I worked for a company years ago where I wound up going into homes like that from time to time. So.
Well, there was it's funny, the president of, I don't know if he's still the president of Auburn Savings. I met up with him at a property one time because he was foreclosing on a house that one of my sellers, the seller was working with him to get rid of the house before they went to foreclosure anyways. Long story there. But he was telling me about a house that they literally took the house back. He literally had to go down and get the chickens out of the house himself.
Interesting. Interesting.
The CEO of a bank going down and getting chickens out of a house. It does happen, guys. Yeah, you just never know. Yeah. It's just like my job. I never know what I'm doing day to day. Yeah. There was one point, last story, guys. I could go on forever. Last story. There was a client, bad situation. Quite literally, at the end of the day, I had to go take his cats to the SPCA. Oh, man. I felt horrible. I was upset about it because they were good cats. But I'll tell you one thing. The second they dug the shit out of me, that was it. That was all over. That was all over.
It's your fault, cat.
No, they were good cats. Yeah. So it was too bad. I felt like I said, we have to do everything. It's a little bit of everything in this job. But I don't want to hold you too long. I want to bring Dan Murphy in. How's it going, Dan?
Hey, Dan, how's it going?
Very good, thank you.
Hey. Welcome to the Squatch Club.
Nice to be here.
Yeah. Are you going to be a Squatch with us, or are you going to be a Dan?
I'll probably be a little more reserved.
Okay, all right.
Now, full disclosure, guys, Dan was telling me before we got started that this is his first time on camera, so he's asked us to be gentle with him and not put him on the spot too much, but Dan, you've got a lot of great things going on. I know you've been real helpful with me and a lot of my clients recently.
I try.
Tell us a little bit about you, how are you, and what you guys do.
Oh, we're a mortgage, a direct lender. The DBA name is Harborview Lending. The our parent company is Megastar Financial, which is a privately owned mortgage company out of Denver, Colorado. We do everything in our name from origination, processing, underwriting to closing. A lot of the conventional loans are serviced by us from start to finish. The government loans, depending on what type of product it is, might be transferred to a different servicer. I do a lot of Maine State housing loans. Maine State housing servicer is out of Providence, Rhode Island, but we do it from start to finish.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Where did they get the name Megastar? Did they find a star and name it Mega, or
You'd have to ask Anita Padilla, the owner of the company, how
They
she
didn't-
came
they
up
didn't
with
tell you
that.
the history
but,
of it?
No, they didn't tell us the history.
or is she
But-
just a mega star?
Well,
you know?
I think she wants to portray that they deal with everybody and they want to shine. We want to shine from start to finish.
So off topic. One of the things I love to find out is why. I love finding out why people name their companies. So, quick backstory for PinePoint. We were sitting there, literally, it was Shauna, my wife, and me, sitting on lost my words. Speakerphone, there we go. We're sitting
We're sure where you were sitting,
We're sitting
Zach,
on
so you were looking at me
speakerphone one
like-
night and literally going, red leaf, blue leaf, green leaf. How about PinePoint? So PinePoint was actually one of the top of the list. We really liked PinePoint until we saw that there was a bigger corporation out of New York, and we didn't want to get mixed up with them. So then we thought PinePoint, because just adding an E in there and it rhymed. So Megastar, we got to ask Anita if that's a star up there. Did she find the star and name it, or is she a megastar out in Hollywood?
I'm gonna pass on that one.
You're
Okay.
passing.
All right.
You know, Zach, going back to PinePoint Realty, though, when I first started here, you actually told me a story about the fact of PinePoint Realty that you guys weren't even aware that there was a Pine Point here in Maine.
No, we
Which
didn't.
I thought was funny, being from being a Maine boy yourself. You
And
know.
well, keep in mind, that's not Maine, that's Massachusetts. From us.
Oh,
us
be
northern
careful
boys.
now.
Well, anyways, so no, we had no clue that there was a Pine Point in Scarborough, Maine that was famous.
Right.
But that we're also Pine Point and we sell cedar. So correlate that. Anyways.
Okay, so getting back to,
So
to Dan.
tell us a little bit about Maine State Housing and what the benefits are to the consumer.
Okay, Maine State Housing, located in Augusta, is a product or a program that benefits first-time home buyers. The staff at Maine State Housing are all very excellent, and they all want to benefit the buyer to get into the first-time home. They're very, very helpful. I've worked with them for 15 years, 20 years, and I find that staff extremely beneficial. The benefits of Maine State Housing is, a first-time home buyer buying a single-family home will get if they qualify, will get a $5,000 grant towards down payment or closing costs. With
That's
a
huge.
USDA loan, it's 100% financing, so that $5,000 can eliminate most of the closing costs. The only requirement is that the buyer has 1% of their own money into the transaction. And that 1% can be from a family member as a gift.
Okay.
So it's very helpful for those individuals that are tired of paying, $1,400 or $2,000 rents that want to start keeping or starting an investment on their own.
So now, Dan, out of what you were saying, what's the definition of a first-time home buyer?
A first-time home buyer is an individual that hasn't owned a home within the last 3 years. You could have owned a home 3 years ago, but have been renting for 3 years. You could currently own a home today, but you haven't lived in that property. You rented that property out and you have not lived in it for 3 years, you're a first-time home buyer. A veteran is always a first-time home buyer in the eyes of Maine State Housing. You could sell your current home.
Really?
In the morning, or even at the same time that you're closing for the purchase of a property. So it's there's no waiting period for a veteran.
Big benefit for a veteran.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maine State Housing is very, very helpful and wants to help the veterans. The interest rate is slightly lower for a veteran as well. But there's all kinds of benefits. I mean, you go to a 2-unit, that $5,000 grant is now $8,000.
Oh, wow.
You purchase a 3-unit, that 8,000 is now 11,000.
How about a 4-unit, Dan?
$14,000.
Woo! Happy birthday!
You know, so I mean that can pay your down payment. You put 1% into the transaction,
Yeah.
you know, you get closing costs rolled into the transaction. You're now utilizing Maine State Housing to purchase a 4-unit. The rental income from the 3 units will be added. It can be used as additional income to help qualify. It's a very, very beneficial program.
It's a no-brainer if you can qualify,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
You could literally live there rent-free pretty much.
Oh, you,
yeah.
multiple units or a 2 or 3 or 4 unit building, you're definitely going to not have to pay more.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you can almost get into it with nothing.
Yeah, you have a fair income, and then the rental income will help you finish up the income.
So get this, guys. The American dream. Buy a house with no money and then make no payments, but make payments. And then 30 years later,
You have a nest egg.
you have a $400,000 bank account that you cash in on.
Yeah, you have a retirement account.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That is crazy, guys. That's truly American dream.
Yeah,
It is,
absolutely.
truly,
It's
yeah.
very, very, Maine State Housing is going out of their way to help people. Now, another big thing, people, some of you may know this or have heard of this in the past, it's household income. You cannot exceed a certain income per county, and all the counties are different, but it used to be if your household income exceeded that limit, you wouldn't qualify.
So in other words, if you had family members living with you, you had to include their income in there
That's
as well.
correct. That's correct.
Okay.
And,
So no longer you have to.
well, now they came back as of November 1st. Say, I'm just going to use this as an example. A husband and a wife, they're both making $100,000 a year. And so that's a $200,000 annual income. Bang, they wouldn't be able to use Maine State Housing. Now, it's Maine State Housing says that you can include the one income and ignore the other income, and now they qualify for Maine State Housing.
Nice, because I don't know about you, Bob, but I've had so many buyers that literally don't qualify
Yeah.
due to $1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's correct.
that extra family member can just put them over on the income
Oh yeah,
level.
especially when you have
difference.
a son or daughter that
Yeah.
works, 16-year-old daughter. that
Exactly.
works.
And so Maine State Housing, the benefit behind it is that it's a lower interest rate than the current market rates today. An FHA loan typically is around 6.75, depending on credit scores, to 7.25. Maine State Housing is 5.375. Your credit score can be 640 or 850. It doesn't matter. It's 5.375 fixed.
Nice.
Nice.
You know, so I mean, so you get the benefit of a lower interest rate, you get a benefit of the grant, and now you're a homeowner, and you can put nails in any wall you want. You don't have to worry about any.
Don't have to ask the landlord, right?
Yeah, you make that your home. I mean, it's the dream of a lot of people out there.
So hey, guess what, guys? Tomorrow is Veterans Day. So any veterans, if you want to come down, get your VA loan with a $5,000 grant to help you towards your closing costs, come on down. You know, Dan can help you. He's excellent at things. He's the last few Maine State Housing loans I've done with him, he's been very, very smooth. Done really quickly. Appraisal went through nothing. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So
Now the veterans' interest rate is, I gotta make sure about it's 4.875.
4.875,
Wow.
guys.
Yeah.
Whoo-wee.
Salute Maine, 4.875.
Yeah.
Nice.
And now they're also eligible to do the 2, 3, and 4 units. I mean, you know, when you get 14 grand, that will cover your down payment in the Andrews Cog on most areas in the state.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
No, for
And
sure.
so it's a great way to get into an investment property.
So actually,
Owner occupied.
that brings the question, owner occupied for all these guys. With a VA loan, when you mix it with our Maine State Housing, is it kind of like USDA where they have to put the 1%?
Well, Maine State Housing wants 1% of the buyer's
Okay.
money into the transaction, but if the buyer doesn't have that money, it can come from a gift from a family member.
But that can include your appraisal fee and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that too. So
Yeah.
that's part of your down.
If they pay for the appraisal out of pocket ahead of time before closing, that is contributing towards that 1%, a building inspection, towards that 1%, a water test. All of that adds up, helping out with that 1%.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know, and so it's a great program. I use them all the time, and you know, a lot of people feel, well, if you're going through Maine State Housing, it's going to take longer, and it's going to be more hurdles and so forth. That is not true. It's a standard FHA, VA, USDA, or conventional loan, and there's no difference between it. We're just utilizing the opportunities given to you by Maine State Housing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be the case years ago
What's
because
that?
yeah, that it took longer for those programs, but not so much anymore.
It's not at all anymore. And ever since I've been involved in lending, it hasn't been that way for me at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a standard straight FHA, VA, USDA, or conventional financing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so it works out very well. And don't be afraid of that causing a delay. It will not. You know, we close loans in 3 weeks.
Yep. Yeah, we just did one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Literally just did one. So anyways, so thank you, Dan, for all that great information.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We've got the,
How did I do for my first time on video?
I don't know, we'll find out.
We'll have to ask. We'll leave that up to you
We
guys.
got- yeah,
How
let
did
us
Dan do on for his first video? Let us know in the comments, guys. We'd love to go ahead and get your input on that.
So
and we'll share it with Dan.
we got one
Please
mystery.
be gentle.
We got a mystery question for Dan, and
Ooh, a
we
mystery
didn't, we didn't
question.
tell him this yet. So I'm gonna go the old traditional one. 2 questions.
Two.
We can break it up.
Two.
We're gonna break it up. What's your favorite car?
Ooh.
Oh, my favorite car when I was younger was TR6.
Okay.
I had it forever. I'm a little too big to get into it today. It was a very fun vehicle when I was in high school and college,
Yeah.
and after college. Yeah.
And then last meal. If you could choose your last meal, what would it be?
Tough one.
Last meal.
That's a
That's
tough
a
one.
tough one. I would probably say a good steak with potatoes.
Okay. Steak
That
potatoes.
seems to be the go-to for most
Steak
people.
potatoes is good though. No, that is a good.
Yeah, it seems like a go-to for sure.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But thank you, Dan. So
Okay.
we got one other thing for you to do before we let you go.
Okay.
You are actually going to be able to draw our first PinePoint Prize Point winner.
Okay.
And they're going to win a $100 gift card.
I'd be glad to.
Let's see who it is. And if you want to know more PinePoint Prize Club, get in touch with one of our agents, and they can discuss details on a one-on-one basis. But again, the number one rule is like the Fight Club: we don't talk about the prize pool.
All right, Dan. Go ahead and make your name out of there.
Okay. I have.
Just make sure it's not yours.
I don't have one.
All right. Who is it?
Oh, you're Drew too.
Oh my.
We gotta redo
Oh,
it. We gotta redo it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dan doesn't understand the rules.
They stuck together.
Pick one, right?
They stuck together.
They stuck together. So, in fairness, guys, we got to pick again.
All right. I'll pick this one. And
All right. So, who's the winner this time?
The very first winner is Claire Sampson. Oh, my word, Claire!
Claire Sampson.
Congratulations! You're our very
Congratulations.
first winner. I will get in contact with you right after this, and I'll get you that gift card.
okay.
That's awesome.
Please give PinePoint Realty a call if you have any questions about Maine State Housing. And thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for coming, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you stopping in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
So, guys, that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of great information. Bob, is there anything else you want to go over, or?
You know, it's been a really crazy week this past week. You know, usually this is the time of the year where we start to see a little bit of a slowdown, things starting to go into the holiday season. But I'd say I've been really busy this past week.
We all
you,
are.
you know, and I think we all have been, yeah. So I'm looking forward to a great week this coming weekend. A lot of great things going on, and I'm looking forward to next Sunday's show because I think we got a couple special topics we want to talk about.
Yes, we do. But we can't share yet.
Can't share quite yet,
but I got another secret to go.
Uh-oh. Another secret.
We got a bonus drawing next weekend for Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
So that way, anybody that wins, they have a little bit of extra money for Thanksgiving this year, either
Nice.
Black Friday shopping or buy a turkey dinner.
Sweet.
Hey, why not? It'd
All
be
right.
great.
So a bonus $100 drawing next Sunday, guys.
First generation.
First generation.
Yeah. Home buyer. First generation home buyer.
Oh,
Oh, first, Dan forgot to tell us. Come on back in, Dan.
Okay.
Quick. This is really important about Maine State housing, guys.
Dan's going to PS to the Maine State Housing.
Yeah, PS. Okay, so there's two types of first-time home buyers. A first-time home buyer that is just a traditional first-time home buyer, grew up in a family-owned home and is looking to buy their first home. A individual that did not grow up in a family-owned home or in foster care, meaning the first not growing up in a family-owned home is that their family parents rented through the period from being a young person through the 18th birthday. They're considered a first generation. The first generation first-time home buyer gets a $10,000 grant to buy their first single-family home, and they have an interest rate of 4.375.
4.375, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
That's
sorry.
a slap in the
I'm
face.
sorry I left that out
So-
because that's a big advantage.
So here's a bigger question on that one.
Yeah.
So if you get the first gen, $10,000,
Mm-hmm.
do you still get the extra 3 on top for each unit?
No. If you're a first generation, your first and second unit are in that $10,000. Then you'll go to your $11,000 and then $14,000.
Okay, so 14,000
Is the cap.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm just curious now.
Yeah, but the interest rate is
But-
4.375.
But still, guys, $10,000 for a single-family residence, it puts you right up there.
Free money.
Yeah, I'll take $10,000.
All day long.
Of course.
All day long. So, guys, if you would like to know more about Maine State Housing, how to get your hands on that extra $5,000, maybe even $10,000 in grant money, give us a call. Let us know because we'd like to help you out. Okay.
And what's the best way to get hold of you, Dan?
Yeah, I'm always available. I'm available by cell phone 7 days a week. I'll answer my phone till 8 o'clock every night of the week. 207-939-7407.
All right, guys. So next time you're in the bathroom stall at Walmart, put on the wall, call for a good time, 207-939-7407. Again, that's 207-939-7407. Call for good time.
I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to help you.
All right, guys.
Well, hey, it's been a wonderful Sunday, guys. I hope you're with us next Sunday. Again, great topics. Another giveaway. Hope you have a great week. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, and what do you usually always tell folks? Because I love it.
Talk is free.
That's
Give us a
right.
call.
So, guys, till next time, expect an amazing day. All right. Take care.